My Gavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I am Arachir Galadirthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer. And welcome to Divide and Conquer as we kick off our wholly new campaign, The Vale of Dorwinion. This is our overview screen for Dorwinion in version 4, as you can see at the top. We will be playing on very hard and very hard. Now, I have recently had questions about that. I'll just answer those now. The only difficulty change for the campaign by going to very hard difficulty is that you, the human, does not get any extra money. If you drop this down to easy, you get an extra something like 1,000 a turn, maybe more, and then it decreases as you go down to very hard, where you get no extra money. So the campaign is exactly as we have balanced all of the stats to be. Playing on very hard battle difficulty increases the AI's morale on the battlefield. That is the only difference. Neither of these occasions does it make the AI any cleverer or any more aggressive or anything like that. Simply this one, you get more money the easier you make it, and this one, the AI gets more troop morale the harder you make it. We will be managing all of our cities. We will not show the enemy moves because it slows the turns. We will not have a battle time limit. We will have a battle time limit. It helps with any bugs. And this Sauron is for our own testing purposes. You will not be able to play as him when you get to the game. We use him just to test certain factions. And before we dive in, one final thing, of course. Version 4 is not released yet. This video is recorded on the 12th of October 2019. And as of this date, and many dates after it, Version 4 is not available. That's why your game will look different to my game. We will go for the long campaign rather than the short, because defeating... no, we won't actually, because I don't want to fight Mordor again. We've seen Mordor so many times, we're not interested in fighting them. So we'll go for the short one. Whether or not we attack others will be up to us. I will read some of the messages at the start, so without any further ado, let's dive in. Oh, sorry, if you want to have a read of this. There we are. Welcome to version 4 Eriador Ruined. The name subject to possible change, but I quite like it. The message is obviously giving you a little bit of information to learn the differences between Divide and Conquer and Vanilla Medieval II Total War. I have rejigged this message to take out anything that is no longer relevant. So, of course, recruitment restricted by the barracks event. You need town halls and castle halls to train troops. Your characters will die of old age. Barracks is upgrade. Bodyguards have 77. There's no assassins. Some factions can't build the top tiers. Very few factions get boats. You get the last stand stack if factions go below 3 provinces. Rebel generals will now attack you, and pressing the scroll lock button will turn off the UI. There you go. So that's the welcome. I implore you to read the welcome message so that you know what is going on when you're playing. I shan't read this one, but there's Dorwinion's opening spiel. I've not actually read it for a while, and I didn't write it either, so... it could be littered with errors and may not even really relate to our faction. We should probably write it. But I will read this one. A land of two people. Dorwinion is a warm and fertile land and is known for its unmatched wines, long summers, and peaceful existence. However, to the locals, Dorwinion is known as a land of two cultures. The Northmen, kindred of the Dalesmen and Rohirrim, and the long-lost Avari. The Avari are a group of elves who opted to not make the great journey with Rome at the Awakening. They are a mysterious people who shun their own kin, but act with warmth and care towards the Northmen. In the late Third Age, as the Easterlings increasingly show hostility to Dorwinion, the elves have integrated more and more in society, even allowing the Vine Regent to sit on the Avarin High Council. All is not as harmonious as it seems, however, for a group of Northman nobles has proposed a markedly different method of dealing with the Easterlings than the Avari, and these nobles are gaining huge support amongst the Northmen. The nobles favour force and annihilation, where the Avari welcome discourse and unity. And in time, you will have to decide whether the land sides with the Avarin High Council or the Northman nobles. Recruitment report, barracks event, blah blah blah, and then various nations have allied. So, the only thing to really talk about in any great detail before the campaign does kick off is something that was changed today, about an hour ago, is, you know how previously I used to bang on about the green books were going to have a terrain breakdown at the start so that you knew what all the terrain was like, so you knew where your troops would train best from. Well, that is no longer going to be necessary because as of today we are trialling the removal of the terrain bonus altogether. Because upon reflection, it's just a bit too much of a gamey and hidden feature. You have no idea whether this is grassland or this is forest at a glance. You have to research it, and obviously there's nothing wrong with people having to research that, but it's just an added layer of admin for a really minor change. So instead, now the only things that will make your recruitment be faster or slower is whether you are training in a town or training in a castle. So castles will be faster, and that is what you've got to look out for now. So don't worry about being in mountains, forest, grassland, deserts. Your training will be the same everywhere, except castles are faster. And so this is very much going to be a trial of that new mechanic. As I say, it was implemented about an hour ago. So we're keen to see how it will take off. Playing as Dorwinion in version 4, you start with Karasant as your capital. Karasant means the City of Gardens, or the Garden City in Sindarin, and it's over there on the eastern coast of the edge of Dorwinion. You also get Santanwi, a major stronghold, and by that I mean it is as upgraded as it is going to be, so it's very useful. Santanwi means Western Gardens in Sindarin. You get Norway and a contingent of the Avari in a fort to the north up there, but they're the only elves you'll get for some time, so be careful with them. In the south, in the great castle of Strondost, we meet Forthwin, who is the Grand Master of Strondost, giving him a command bonus and a renown bonus. And Strondost is a castle, so the middle tier of 2. And that bridge there, you can't see my cursor still, can you? Because it's so annoying. But that bridge that's in the middle of the screen at the moment is the only crossing north to south between the mountains and the sea. So Strondost is useful to defend, but the bridge south of it is even more useful. Strondost, if you're wondering, is, as far as I can remember, it's a merging of Icelandic and Sindarin. Strond means coast and Ost means town, and I thought it just sounded nice together. So it's coast town, but in 2 different languages. The region is Mountains of Dorwinion. And finally, Naburka on the Isle of Nabur. We own that as well, and within it you will find Athel here, who is unique in that he has Athala Rangers, which is nice. We'll be using those. Now, before we get anywhere near the choice, I'm going to tell you and warn you probably that I am fully intending on siding this time with the Northmen and not the Elves. Because last time we played, I sided with the Elves, and it's been a long time since I played Dorwinion and sided with the Northmen, so that is what I'm going to do. And before we start looking at making any economy buildings, I'm going to get better free upkeep, because at the moment we get abysmal free upkeep. You'll note only 1, in fact. Whereas with that, at least we'll then get 2. Santanwi has 2 from the castle and 1 from the meeting hall, giving it 3 at the moment. We'll get that up to 4. And Karasant has only the 1, so we need to improve that as well. But unfortunately, it's going to take 5 turns just to get a second free upkeep slot. You will note we get a lot of trash. Unfortunately, early tier Dorwinion forces are trash. That's something we have to deal with. And what we do need is to get a longship, and I realise we don't have one at game start, which is rather disappointing. We need an admiral, and we don't have one. I don't want to bring Norway out just at the moment. We make about 1,000 gold coins, but as soon as he comes out of that fort with his very expensive Avari forces, we won't make anywhere near that kind of money. But we do need to capture some regions. Especially before Rune gets their hands on any of them, the buggers over there. So, we shall head out and do that. Anyone that's free at the moment,
my lord,
or isn't free rather, you guys go in that fort. Forthwin won't be free because Forthwin has a custom bodyguard as well, and we can't recruit the bodyguard that Forthwin has until after the choice has been made, so he won't be free for a very long time. We've also very recently played around with the settlement mechanics, and you will find in future versions of the game your settlements will start to like you a little bit less than they do at the moment.
Yes, to battle.
Some siege rams in there. Right, I think we're good to go.
Yes.
What are we on? And click. Let's see how long the turn time is going to take. Remember, this is the first turn, and it always takes longer. Normally about 10 seconds longer than the others. But we're closing in on 15 seconds now. It should move to Rohan Yes, perfect. Normally, if that goes slowly, as I said in the High Elf start, it means something is wrong. I am thoroughly looking forward to playing as Dorwinion. I absolutely love Dorwinion, and certain changes have been made to the choice script when we get to it. Only very minor changes, and they happen straight away, but a change has been made that makes the choice a bit more interesting. And I'm looking forward to that. Of course, we've got all of the new traits to be playing around with at the moment and seeing how our nation's going to exist with all the new traits. We will build an army over here. What I'd like to do is pull Athelhir out of Naburka. But we can't get a ship for another 15 turns. That's such a long time. It's very disappointing, isn't it? Let's be honest. Once we have built that, though, well, we'll worry about that when we have actually built them. What's Ilanin got? Oh, we're going to get attacked by those. I'm almost sure of it. Norway, our good friend in the north here, has a new custom portrait, as you can see. He's also now got Avari Metalwork and Avari Scout as ancillaries, and he's also the Avarian High Councillor. The Avari and Dorwinion are led by the Avarian High Council, which in turn is presided over by the High Councillor. It gives no effects, it is purely a name. However, someone, or something, may join us later on, who is also a member of the Avarian High Council, and his does have an effect. And I know that because I made him. He's called Avelin, and spoiler alert, he will join us later. And I'm looking forward to that, to be honest. Oh, that turn was 15 seconds. Just don't get that with Warhammer 2, do you? But I shan't turn this one into another rant about Warhammer 2. Now, Strondost is going to be on our front line for most, if not all, of the game. Because there's no way we won't be attacking Rune. They will attack us if we don't attack them. They will hate us. Now, if we get that, our trade goes up to... We get an extra 476. Or do you get an extra 476? Or... No, you don't, do you? I've been reading that wrong, I think. It goes from 410 to 476. So the increase would be about 66 gold coins. And the admin would go up by 3, not by 35. So not all that much income. Whereas if we were to build the mines, for example, we'd get 300 extra mining income, 50 extra building income, and a bit more on the admin as well. So the mines at the moment, considerably better. We can't afford them, but much better in terms of return. We'd get 40 extra with a leather tanner. So mines in Strondost looking like a good bet at the moment, to be honest. Well, we get the winery as well, which gives 65, but it also increases trade goods. Keep pressing that wrong button. Winery, winery, winery. Trade would increase by about 60 actually, sorry. And building we got by 55, admin by about 10, and we'd get more growth as well, which is interesting. So that's also a potential. You can train a... No, don't train a unit yet, but you might as well build roads. Roads always make good money, and they'll connect us to the port better, which we can't even get at the moment anyway, but we'll connect to it nevertheless. How much do the mines cost? 4,275, which we do not make, but we would if we... How much are the roads going to add? Nothing, in fact. So we won't be building the roads. We will save up. We'll get Ilanin in a moment. And with the extra monies we then receive, we shall go for mines in Strondost. Which can now recruit a free unit. No, we don't want to recruit a free unit, Galu, because then we will lose some of the money we just talked about. But just end the turn. Just end the turn. There is a little bit of a suggestion that the game's turns will be slightly quicker now the terrain requirements have all been removed from the EDB. But when we say slightly quicker, we mean by about 0.1 of a second. Like, it's not going to be anything you'd notice. Now, Swine, if you're moved out of there... Oh, it does not like us. That's only got 2 turns left, but I'm happy to siege that out. We didn't get the money. In fact, we now lose money. No surprises there. We're training more troops. Leave behind the 2 crap units and head out into the wilderness. Where are we? That's Ravanian, that's Wilderlands.
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
There's a town over there
We shall
somewhere.
Continue tomorrow.
Oh, and they want us to send a diplomat. Do we even have a diplomat? No. Can we afford one? Yes, we can. Go on then. We get free upkeep on them soon. That's the next... Oh, hello. The Vineyard Levy image is broken. It's because they're mercenaries and they haven't been added to the mercenary. That's an easy fix. Worry yourselves not. I imagine that Rune will attack us and force our hand, but we will try and hold off from fighting them for as long as we can. Capture... Dorwinion has, uniquely in the game, really, it has the most rebel provinces around it of almost any faction in Middle-earth in Divide and Conquer.
With honor,
and
you command,
so you do actually get to spend a bit of time mopping up free locations, which you don't with other factions.
Yes, my lord.
Right, you head south. I really want those mines. I really want those mines. We need Athel here off of Naburka, where we can get him in a fort to make him free. But Alanin will now rise up against us, so we're ready to attack them. I'm sorry that the cursor's still not on the screen. I don't know what to do, really. NVIDIA, it's out of my hands. I could, of course, try and use other software, but every time I've tried to use OBIS, it fails me massively, and it is nowhere near as good quality as NVIDIA. Right, let's just delete these, because they are not... Oh, I shouldn't have deleted the autosave. That was foolish. Those are not related to Dorwinion, but we will get some now that will be related. So Captain Jeshan comes with 2 units of spearmen, 2 units of hunters, some riders, and some cell swords. We have got some shadows, a very good archery unit, javelins, swords, and I think Norway is also an archer unit, if memory serves.
Muster your courage, men! We march into battle!
Norway, uniquely amongst the Avari, has golden hair, which is quite a nice little addition. A nice little feature for him. We're straight in. Well, drop those. Oh, pressing all the wrong buttons, as ever. And here they come. Did anybody see if they had any archers? I didn't bother to check. Foolish, really. Right, you guys, move yourselves over there. Javelin troops, you move yourselves over there. Shadows, come and stand over here. And everybody into positions. And start shooting if you can. Stay in defensive mode. Those Ravanian riders, if you can hit them. Okay, here they come. Go on, give them a volley. Give them a volley. Nice. You, stop shooting them. Stop shooting them. The riders are down and out already. Should we give you a brief moment to pause and look at our awesome Avari units? Here are our warriors, looking very wild, if you will. Leather and I am not bothered with. Is it lamella? I can never remember. I don't really care for military warfare garments. I'm afraid it just doesn't interest me. So I've never read up on it. But they've got different shields than they had in previous versions. In fact, they look totally different than they do in previous versions. And particularly the Shadows, who now look far more like a rangery type unit. And then at the back, the Morekwendi Sentinels. Used to be called Avari Elder Archers. Now they are Morekwendi Sentinels. And they are a very good archery unit. Of course, they aren't as good as, say, High Elven Archers or Woodland Realm Archers or indeed Lothlorien Archers. But they are still, other than those, arguably the best archer in the game. So they're still Elven Archers at the end of the day. They're just not as good as some of the more dedicated Elven Archers. Ah, here come the cell swords. What is that over there? They're missiles. Oh, no. I have definitely not edited the file, and they are going to crash my game. They are absolutely 100% going to crash my game when they throw their axes. Which is a... Let's try and get through this without that happening, shall we? Otherwise, it's going to be such annoying. Oh, attempting fate. I knew I'd forgotten something. I fiddled around with the files before starting this all off because I knew that the music wasn't going to play properly. Oh no, hang on, actually. They're javelin throwers. Yes! We're alright, they're javelin throwers. But I must remember to do that. Axes.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
I don't think we're going to fight any axe throwers this first episode, so I don't need to pause it and go and do it. But there will be axe throwers as we go along, so I must make sure I change that. Remember that in the next version of Divide and Conquer, version 4, your axe throwers will not crash your games anymore because of the way that DaC is going to be released in the future. Are you wavering? No, I was going to say you're a Vari spearman. You don't waver.
Be quick. The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
I had hoped actually you'd shoot them. You go on at full blast right into the back. Nice. Keep up the fire. Keep up the fire. You guys shoot whoever you want to shoot at. Give us the light of the elves. Shadows getting stuck in with the Ravanian spearmen. Give them all you have, lads. Look at these two. These two are almost in sync in their defense. Ah, they're routing. As are the cavalry. As is everything. Chase them down. Only the sellswords seem to be fighting on, and they... No, come on. There you are, get involved. You guys, come over here. Run no way in. Shadows, pull yourselves out. Get away from those sellswords. Who are now running away. Everything is running away. So feel free to now shoot down any traitorous scum who flee the field. Oh, the men of Ravanion are just wanderless, you know. They just need guidance. They need support. And all we bring them is death and destruction and woe. But sometimes it's necessary. What we need now, of course, is for them all to break. And until that time, the battle will continue, annoyingly. Let's send No Way in, though. He'll break them. No Way stands on the edge over here. And that's him there with the golden hair and the large 1980s shoulder pads, which he's trying to bring back into fashion.
The enemy
and it's over.
This is a
63, 845. No Way taking 274 himself, and the Shadows 238. I like the Shadows. They're a good unit. The Elves are good fun, I grant you, but I've played with the Elves before, and this time I'd like to show off the humans, because they get little attention as Dorwinion. And as the creator of many aspects of the mod, but of course just the head of the team behind the creation of the mod, it is something of a duty of mine to show you everything the mod has to offer,
yes,
and not play the same way
command,
as we did last time.
We shall prevail. Yes.
See, I could have sworn they threw axes, but it's just, I think once they finish with their javelins, they have an axe. Oh, they've got privateer cavalry in there. That's disappointing. Yeah, no, they don't throw axes, but they do throw javelins. So we don't have to worry about the axes just yet. Ah, Cadasant got a great haul. We are sort of making money. It's interesting that how little we're making, given that we just captured Ilanin. But have you got some trash I can send up there, please? Yeah, Cadasant has. Train a unit of them.
My lord.
I don't really want them to be in there, actually. I tell you what, train Santanui. There you go. Look, you've got them.
My lord.
Send those to
As
Ilanin.
you wish. We can go no
Garrison,
further today.
train 2 of those. Send that one to the fort in the south because it's got experience. You see, it's got
There is something you wish to
experience.
speak of? Very well. We are most willing to hear you out further.
What do you say to 2,500 and I'll give you my map information? Oh, you're poor and that's demanding, so you won't go for it. Regular tribute then of 250 for 25 turns. That's not really very good though, because they'll attack us shortly, and they don't like that anyway. What about 1,000 then? No, they've got no money at all. The AI is still restricted. If it doesn't have the money to give you, it simply will not do the thing. So you have to constantly balance that. But we should get a bit more money now that our trade is connecting to the ports in Rune. Hopefully, anyway. Right, the Ilanin army. We are heading out.
Yes.
Ignore
This
the anger.
tower will keep
We shall
vigil over
quell
the
that
lands.
later.
This tower will keep vigil over the
So we head through the forested lands that
Making
once
camp
was
here.
just a vast plain of grassy nothingness. The map has now been amended, and trees sprout where once they did not. Oh dear. It took quite a long time to remove all of the terrain bonuses in the barracks, I have to inform you all. And I'm pleased that it's done.
As you wish.
And when I say quite a long time, I mean about 2 hours. Well, about an hour and a half, I think, by the end. We're not looking like we're going to get our mines anytime soon, but I'm holding out for the mines because
Your orders, my lord.
we will have more towns shortly.
This tower will keep vigil over the land.
And every new town
We
gives
shall
us more money.
engage.
I don't want to attack Carverad. Do we have many archers?
Yes, my lord.
2 units of crossbows. Vine Lord Swain just has high paladins, which is the standard bodyguard of Dorwinion. And
Orders.
so not custom, unfortunately. Like fourth win over here. Fourth win. How much do
Your
you
orders,
cost?
my lord. Yes, my
You
lord.
give the town 1141. So you're only adding about 100 gold coins to the town, and you cost 280. So you do actually cost more than the town is giving us.
My lord.
Oh,
As you
wrong
wish.
unit. Send that one.
We can go no by your command. Orders.
You'll see the garrison bonus changes everything with the settlement, how much it hates you. A garrison is giving, 1 unit is giving a 40% boost. Cultural unrest at the moment is quite high there. A minor effect from the distance to capital. But we are flirting with no money still. Yeah, but we need to be ready.
My lord.
I think what will happen, almost certainly, is... Oh, look at that. Lots of different effects. Rune won't attack us until they've gathered up some more rebel provinces, because rebel provinces are free real estate. And so the AI goes for it long before it ever starts a war with anyone. And also, they'll be judging us and thinking, well, we can sort of beat them, but we need to be overwhelmingly able to beat them, and we're not at that point yet. What? What? Sorry, everyone, bear with me just one moment. Elrond, annoyingly, still called the High, the Haven Master of Linden, even though that's not who he is. Excuse me, sorry. Elrond just died. And also went one of the twins, because that's why we got the message twice. Well, Imladris are playing a dangerous game, unfortunately. Oh, you guys stay in that fort. That was foolish. Ah, look, money's creeping up. We'll have Rulberg shortly.
Your orders, my lord.
What's Rulberg got as defense? Ah, we could go take the fight to them, couldn't we? We'll catch them while they're unawares.
We shall engage.
Captain Frothier, if it was Sindarin. Frothier. But it's probably not. And now I've probably pronounced it wrong, but let's do it!
Attack!
Unfortunately, of course, by choosing the Northmen, these elven units that we are losing in these battles here, they will never be able to be retrained. And that is, unfortunately, just the way of it. So once these people are all dead, that is it. They are all dead. But welcome to the small Rovanian village of Råberg. A simple village, though they've managed to carve their houses out of brick. Really. Well, not carve, but they've built their houses out of brick. Which seems quite advanced. And also, despite the lack of religion of the men of Rovanion, they've decided to convert to Catholicism. And they've built themselves a church. Of course, it may not be Catholicism. They might be Protestants. Who knows? But that is something that's certainly on Arcade's to-do list, to get rid of those churches. And in a lot of settlements, he already has, actually. But there are some leftovers. Do we want to just everyone to actually come from one way? We probably do, don't we? Right, fellows. Can you really already shoot? Ah, there's hunters over there, though, isn't it? That's insane. Bring them down. You will note, of course, when I'm hovering over units, that the icon in the top left corner has been reset to the simpler banners. That was done at my behest. As in, I wanted to do that because I felt that the very, very good-looking new icons that we have for the factions, the end-turn scroll icons, I really, really like them. But when they were scaled down to match, to fit in the box in the top left there, they looked really bad quality, and you just couldn't get away from it. And so we've returned to these simple diagrams. Also, variety is the spice of life, and it was nicer to have two different icons representing a faction than just using the same one shrunken down. I try and hit those riders instead. I noticed that some of you are doing arcing shots, and that's just silly. Ah, there we are. They're doing all right now. We need to kill as many as we can with bows. Oh, we're at 40%. We're doing well. Particularly the privateer axemen, who unfortunately will shred us if we get involved with them. But I was going for the riders just so that we hit the large area in the middle here.
The enemy force remains.
Look at them all wandering around aimlessly. No general to lead them. Their land long since leaderless. The peoples who once led them proudly now live in Rohan. And that was thousands of years ago that they buggered off. These people have been living as nothing but simple tribesmen in this vast grassy wasteland for over 1,000 years. It isn't 1,000 years, is it? When was Rohan founded? It's under 1,000 years, but it's a long time ago. But no, these are related to Rohirrim. Or rather, the Rohirrim are related to these people because the Rovanian, the peoples of Rovanion, migrated to become Rohan. So they are the precursors of the Rohirrim, not the other way around. Right, go back for those privateer axemen, please. I should like them to die, and if you could facilitate that, that'd be smashing. What are we on? 75% of the enemy has died, courtesy of Norway and the Order of Shadows. But now we shall send some javelin troops in. And we'll send the swordmen in front of them. And Norway, you're not half bad in battle, so if you go over there, please. Oh, look at this amazingly rudimentary feature, which you would assume would be in every game. I'm able to zoom the map in. How original. Right, run into position. Go on, yeah, give them what for. Don't do that anymore. Can you shoot? No, you cannot shoot. Right, you guys run in. Let's come out at ×2. We need to get these javelin troops as close as we can. Perfect. Now, give me a volley. Give them a volley. Fire. Does he say fire? Or does he say... I think he does say fire, doesn't he? Yes. Yes, you are, rather. Go on, and again. Hit them again. Yes. Yes. I'm not one to glorify the death of innocents, but these Rovanian folks... I'm pleased that they shall be leaving us. Right, now go for it. You, hit them there. You, run in. Get involved.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
80% of them have died, but unfortunately, the privateer axemen still have 62 in their number. But Norway's here now. The Morroquendi sentinels with their keen elvish swords bust into the side. Red capes, golden armour, simple sword and shield, but it's enough to bring down these pretenders. This lesser, ruinous kingdom. Anyway, it's over, so let's speed it up. We don't really want to get the shadows involved, we want to keep them alive. Norway, remember, will not replenish until he goes below 77 men. And then at that point, he will then replenish.
Our men have slain the enemy general.
There he is.
Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
Their captain gone. But they've taken 10% of us. It took only 20% of them to kill 10% of us. That's not very good, is it? It's rather disappointing, in fact. As the last man falls... Oh, beheaded as well. That was brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Here today.
The cheers from the Avari, who are supposed to be the less warlike of the two. Look at them glorifying the death of 800 souls. 29 elves fell today. Very disappointing. Another reason why I would like to not choose the elves is, of course, because the other campaign on the channel is High Elves, and so having two elven campaigns running side by side would be, to me, rather wasteful. So we shall choose a Northman. But another town is ours, although it's only a village, and villages aren't as useful, but we'll take it.
A most noble conquest.
It's a bit more money. Money is power in this land. Ah, there's a town just down there on near that lake. We should probably go for that next, but we need another cheap garrison unit. And we don't have them. 2 turns until they get them. Will you hate me if you lose a unit?
Yes.
Ah, no, you're sort of alright with it.
As you wish. March to
Have you got any more?
exhaustion.
Yeah, you go over.
By your command.
You go to Ilanin next then. And Santan, we can sit there for a couple of turns.
Continuing later.
Oh, no, look, you can do it.
My lord. Your will, my lord.
Oh, we did that. That's what we did.
We'll make
We already
that
have done
clear.
that, haven't we? We did that on purpose. Only make 400 gold coins. Maybe we should just build something that will give us some money. If we were to build the farm, for example, we would see our harvest increase by 60 gold coins. It's not very much for a 2,000 gold building. Santanwi, another 60, but it's a poor harvest. Unfortunately, corruption would increase by 3 as well, so it would only go up by 57, give or take. Growth, of course, would be enhanced. Karasant, can you still build that winery? Because maybe that would be a good idea. Ah, no, that's too expensive. Can't build that either. Should have built it when we had the chance. You've got them. No, you don't even have a mason's hall. Dear, oh dear. Would a mason's hall in Strondos, therefore, be a good idea? It would decrease the cost of the mines by 420 gold coins. That is actually quite a lot, isn't it? So we're paying 900, but it will make itself back on almost 2 buildings. So we'll get that for now. Santanwi is going to be our key recruitment centre, so we'll chuck in a leather tanner there. I know that's all of our money used up, and I was trying to save for the mines, but we'll still be able to save. We'll be alright. Now, the music that you are hearing when these end turns pass probably sounds remarkably similar to Lord of the Rings music, and this is something of a trial again, because a gentleman has created that music actually for his own mod, which is coming to Mountain Blade 2, which isn't even released yet. That's very keen, if you ask me. But for his own mod, for Mountain Blade 2, as I say, they've created their own music. But as Mountain Blade is not coming out for some time, he asked if DaC would take the music now, so that at least people start to get the benefit of his creations. And I was all for it, so we chucked it in. And so whilst it is obviously inspired and edited and probably just a twisted version of Lord of the Rings music, it should pass the YouTube's filtering system, because it isn't literally just the Lord of the Rings music. It is someone else recording a slightly different version of that music. So we'll see how it goes. How many more turns? 15, I said to the boat, didn't I? 7 turns until we can get that longship, and then we can get across and get Athelhir off of Naburka. Naburka will start to get wealthier as we get more ports, but for the moment it won't have too much going on. Although, speaking of ports... Ah, there it is. I was going to say, where's Strondos? A port here would also be a welcome introduction, I should have thought. Increases the trade by 100. So it pays off in 38 turns. But no, of course, because trade pays off... Trade will increase anyway as we... Oh, I should send my diplomat out, shouldn't I? Idiot. My overall goal with this campaign, because defeating Rune will not give us our region requirements, I was rather hoping to turn on Dale, because I'd really like to fight against Dale and to declare ourselves the ultimate Northmen.
Orders.
Can you get one of them? Yes, you can. Get me a meeting hall, and then that unit will be free upkeep. Similarly, you already are free upkeep because castles already train troops.
Yes, my lord.
With honour.
Oh,
Yes.
hang on. I'm sure the town was there. Where's the town gone then? This is Lothar. This is the Burnt Lands. The Burnt Lands one is over there, but I was sure Lothar's one was down here somewhere.
Your orders, my lord.
They must be gone.
With
Carverad will fall in 2. But no way, don't go that way
Yes,
then.
my
You go
lord.
north,
With honour.
and we shall send Swain to the west when he's finished.
Your will, my lord.
And there we go, another free upkeep. It's starting to get a bit more money now. And as expected, the costs have come down. The next decrease is 8%. But Strondos is also going to be a recruitment location, and we make about 800 gold coins now, so we can do that. We're about to be attacked in Carverad. But obviously it isn't as that's another reason why Dorwinion is a good one to show off, because it is nowhere near as a high octane start as the High Elves. Rune obviously does border you, but you don't start at war with them, so you don't necessarily need to go out of the dock guns blazing. Ingrid is being betrothed to Vidohag on them. Amladris is being besieged. What does our family tree look like? Vine Regent Ranulf died in 2977, and he and his wife Kalai gave the regency to Howin, who's our faction leader. 41 years of age, married to Freoine, and she's 40. And they have Vinelord Swain, who's only 20 now, Ingrid, his sister of 19, and Herbel, who's just been born. She's only 2. But also Howin's sister Asta married Forthwin, and they have got Frothir, they've got Ava, and Dieraglir, who are all young'uns. And there's Viduha, 46, and he's married to a 19-year-old. Oh dear, the standards in this world. Right.
Your orders, my lord.
Keep building towers as you go. I love sight range.
This tower will keep.
And there's the
vigil
East
over
Bite.
land.
I'm not sure we want the East Bite yet. That
Camp
will really put us in close quarters with Dol Guldur, and I don't really want to stir the beast of Dol Guldur yet, really. I'm not too keen on that. Dol Guldur is very much like Mordor, but a poisonous, darkened version of Mordor's army, really. The garrison of Carverad rises as expected. You will not find peace nor victory on this field, Shagelda. You shall die here, and I trust you are ready for that. But now we get to see the Thorn, the warriors of the Thorn in action. Crossbowmen and swordmen. I was going to say shieldmen, but I'm not sure you count them as shieldmen, really. Orcrist, the Goblin Cleaver. Oh, of course! Hang on, everyone! We're Dorwinion, and they very recently got unique voices. And you just heard him say sir at me. Ugh. They don't say it when you're paused, so you won't hear them when we're paused. But bear with us in a moment. You shall hear the voices of the people. Do we want to try and rush to that little lip? I think so. We're not that far away from it. I mean, neither are they, so it's going to be a bit of a race, but we'll go for it. Don't be in that mode. So you guys run to there. I'm actively now trying to be better at the battles. I have it in me to be relatively good at the battles. I've got a lot of insider knowledge about how the game works and its the various aspects of the game. So I should really, all things considered, be pretty good on battles. And it's only because of my very lazy approach that I tend to not be. But sometimes you do want to show that you have at least some capability. But here are our Thorn units. Well, there's the High Paladins.
Dorwinion will be counted. High Paladin.
And unfortunately, I can't make them sound louder without the footstep noise sounding deafeningly loud.
Men of the Thorn.
Men of the Thorn!
Weapons ready. Sir?
Sir? Right, everyone into positions. Move, move, move. Look at them. They just look bloody glorious, don't they? Oh, the enemy's already shooting at us. We've got archers in the enemy battalion? What? Who was that? Who was that? No one is to throw anything? If, and I want to make it absolutely clear, if they do say Jehovah. Move yourselves over there, flank on the edge. Men of the Thorn! I really like that way, the way they say that. Oh no, they're privateer cavalry. Ah, but they've run straight into the Thorn Guard. Pikes! Oh, look at that, mowing them down. Oh, and another falls. And this fellow's just blocked with his arm twice, apparently. Oh, and down he goes. You can't avoid the pikes. The crossbowmen atop the hill. Perfect sight range onto the enemy below. How are you going to do? Ready. Oh, straight into the mire. Oh, and another goes. And that's almost sickening to watch, so we won't do that. That is the perfect shooting angle. We're not getting into our own troops at all, and they're firing over the heads of our enemy. Although the High Paladins have done that very annoying thing where they don't actually get into combat. And they sort of just stand around the edge. There you go.
Our men have slain the enemy.
Oh, the enemy general's already gone.
Lose their will to fight.
Shigelda. We need to get new voices for these powers. Because one of them is just called Captain or Hero Captain or something like that. And it's Boromir giving a speech. And
they have lost half their men.
It doesn't really fit outside of Gondor. Look at the rain of bolts smashing into the door by the looks of it. I mean, you're missing there, friends, but nevertheless, keep up your... Why have we not won?
The enemy flees the field. This is a clear victory.
Or Vinelord Swain almost taking as much of a victory as Norway before him. The two are in competition, you see, but unfortunately the elves just kill so many more than we do. Bladesmen taking the top spot. Crossbowmen close second, though. Crossbowmen are a bit harder to use. They take longer to load than archers do. Which, as I understand it, depending on the type of crossbow, is actually historically accurate. I gather that a bow with a well-trained bowman, or even just an averagely trained bowman, is relatively fast. Whereas a crossbow, you've always got to obviously crank it, don't you? You've got to crank the string back and then put the bolt in, click a button, and it goes. So I understand the crossbow doesn't require much skill to use, but still takes a while to actually fire. But something that many people actually have said in the past, and when we is that because every crossbow in this game is armor piercing, and we often have a lot of people saying, well, that's absolutely nonsense, because as I gather, particularly from British history, something called a bodkin arrow is actually famously armor piercing. So by all accounts, the archers should be armor piercing and the crossbowmen shouldn't be. But then I also feel and understand that that is also very situational. Certain bows and certain arrows would be armor piercing. That looks like Legend of Total War, doesn't it? Someone has turned Legend into a commander of Dorwinion. We'll move you over to Santanwi for now, so we get that extra free upkeep on the levies, and we will build that. We've just got loads of money. Carverad just really pumping it out. Thank you, Carverad. Carverad is it's already a town, which is nice. Already a large town, in fact. Very nice. But I won't build anything because we do want those mines. So, but actually, that'll take us down to 4,000. We'll still be able to build the mines. We will get a meeting hall so we can constantly keep up with the free upkeep, which is what we need. How much do you cost? 390. That would take us to 3,800, and the mines cost 3,825. So we can just about afford them, provided nothing else changes. We'll give it one last end turn, and then I shall end this first episode. But, as I often do when I start new recordings, I'm going to record the second episode immediately after this, so I will not see your comments. So do bear that in mind. But I will read them all at the end of the second episode, which will be, according to my little calendar in front of me here, on the 16th of October, you'll be able to watch that. Vinelord Swain is marrying, rather ironically, or not ironically, but rather prophetically, someone called Run. I'm not sure I'd marry someone called Run.
Yes.
Look, we already damn well border the Guldorians. I was really not wanting to do that, but there we are, knocking on their doors. And Strondost is building, and as expected, left us with no money. But we are now only a few turns away from getting Athelhir off of the prison of Nabur, which is where he currently is.
My lord.
Look at that, that's so frustrating. Those towns are just, it's one tile too far away from a straight beeline walk. Maybe we should move Coruscant one tile south so that you can move your general.
My lord.
I don't want the East Bite, I don't want that one. And it's Carverad that we need the troop from.
As you wish. We'll make camp.
Yes.
So you guys head out.
This tower will keep.
Yeah, look, there are room for two. So Norway, you do go south. We'll return you to where you were going, and you go into that one, and we'll take both of these. So Midjord and Lothar. Just got to find the regions. We should probably also get the Wilderlands to get a real buffer with Rune, but I don't know where Rune's gone. I don't know if you saw at the start of the campaign they had a giant garrison in Lest. Well, I don't know where that giant garrison has up and buggered off to.
Without question, I shall continue tomorrow.
There are lots of runic forces knocking around somewhere. And speaking of knocking around, actually, Viduha, once you get to Saint-Anouilh,
We can go no further, my
train
lord.
yourself a little army. Oh, look, Dorwinion infantry, available in 1 turn. I will take those. We get them from here, don't we? The garrison quarters, that's good. You get mines as well. Ah, nice, we'll get those next time. But I'd like the troops now. Train me those troops, and if Karasant, have you got any? Yeah, get a couple of archers, and we will take Wintirian Eor, or the region is now called Gazar Ibar. But for now, that is going to be where I end this episode. So I do hope you have enjoyed this little foray into Dorwinion. I hope you're looking forward to beating the forces of Rune and then turning on Dale and Erebor, provided Dol Guldur don't get in the way, or indeed Mordor, who have been known to attack Dorwinion in our latest games. Do be sure to check out the link in the description below to Gamesplanet and get yourself a cheaper game than you would elsewhere without using illegality. But until we speak again, dear friends, Navarna den Perimad Melonin, and farewell.